This is Buadu TV, truth and integrity.
Police commander for no and making sure say better guide illegal miners no
known powerful people who are sponsoring and pushing people into some of these things to do the galamsey.
I was saying I'm going to call from Buadu TV. So first time I watch na was subscribing now like video no just commenting so atomo ede my made us see pa na innocent Ivan it's abrante na your Captain Smash no so no and then so one JB galamsey no you say the NDC for that is more omo tunu don't come omo yilin low no match and high and what fire their farm Ivan so they won't himself no so or tuja no tuja sa was NDC for hwe na mo stop galamsey ni sisi a enye sa it is kokwo number 3 e da chiromo na yenkotimi
galamsey
probably there 2 minutes
one of the major we are trying to say issues before the elections it take the center stage. The catcher said that was the first time you're going to major elections and not economy crano and yet the central team and they drive the conversation before elections. Now galamsey issue because of the menace and now cause to our environment some degradation I cause. A lot of promises were made. President Mahama Baye, I think some initiatives have been implemented so far, but you see what trick it down to the ground now. People who are involved in some of these things, you know, they may have political categorization and as for, but they are Ghanaians, they are hell bent on doing some of these things to destroy our land, and that is why those of us here want to see a certain action be a bit really down to the ground, making sure say the very individuals now we are involved in some of these things, you know, we bring them to books. Yeah. That is the only thing. Obi to galamsey ye ni MPP galamsey or MPP galamsey. All we know is that there are criminal elements on the ground. Some may take partisan colors and identity in the name of being able to, you know, outweigh the system, no whatever. Sure. But you see, if there is this commitment on the part of the state, say, hey, we are ready, going after these individuals, irrespective of whether you NDC, MPP, then as a foreigner. Trust me, we will be able to deal with it because at this point in time, JB, so you had degradation, quite recently, videos in as a foreigner. I understand government say people want that shift kind of way. Who say the same energy, the same destiny is going into the ground, and the truth is, we can't wait. Because every single day a land in as for say and these people over the years no soldier for but still those activities are still continuing. So it means that at the national level no we need some kind of policy orientation, the approach how we go about some of these things, never making sure that we deal with some of these things. The last time so that may catch us say you see the issues like illegal mining and galamsey and to a certain extent a byproduct of this massive unemployment situation and then the enclaves and other places galamsey something we been forefathers and want pass it on to their kid to some of them vocation, full-time vocation for them. So if you want to transition these people, say, free the question is, free that is why some initiative might also be available. Say, once I will pull the people out of this kind of activities, you know, then you are ushering them into a certain vocation, and that's a jumabia, more that kind of livelihood, and for and yes, man will do everything to survive. It's the reason why a soldier for the 2 chase a man for
man will do everything to survive.
Oh yes, definitely man will do everything to survive. And na soldier for the 2 na second a chase a man for yet they're still going. It means that we need to, you know, look at our policy, directive once again. Now you're making sure that the policies are airbar that will deter people from going to the bush. And aside that, and also there is this opportunity, social incentive, and also some opportunities are available. those go into some of these things, then they win off from some of these things. Galamsey site, boys now who are more say a man and move to here for they don't own anything. For daily bread. That is why they go there. And the Yabako site, there are the very people we arrest near jail or more. But these people don't own concession. On Nisika they talk caterpillar, on Nisika at the high. Because or cohort because a human who onya ade ordinary life by so they go to this site sebaya obabafia numre no wanya bibi. But the very people who are involved in some of these things are the major campaigns asabi omo bibidi. They are the very people who are able to finance these Chinese, bring them into this country and make sure say they do some of these things. So I think say as a country, kasa na doso. We need that kind of direction. Now making sure say these are the new policy initiative for tackling this kind of menace. And say seems to move to galamsey. We just need to make sure say we enforce some of the emrana or say these are red zones. Galamsey or minor so I understand the president says the emrabi beba or in such a way, say people will be doing mining, but that will be illegal mining. That mining, and affect your fence because the sense in it is gold no from no way day too.
Yeah, sure.
And why don't you find a way of making sure say they do it right? You understand? The last time I proposed to say there are ways we can do some of these things because the state can form companies, enterprises and then they're in charge of some of these things. You can bring people who are more expertise in these areas and every region, we can employ young people into some of these enterprises. They will do responsible mining and say because whenever you create a vacuum, it will be filled. So why don't you fill it yourself by making sure say at every regional level you have some of these companies out there that will employ about 5,000 or maybe 1,000 and over young people that will go into some of these things and do it right, making sure the state can account for it, and these people will find something very reasonable to do rather than say level 8 to individuals. Omono will just take advantage, go into some of these things, and mine at the end of the day, degradation, Ghana for Ankasa because in so say the many people are whole consequences. Nansa ye who cry more hospitals. Your friend is saying, Yaria, obit me or will be in a soon, will be in the all because of some of these poison I cause away young swim and Sase, then I say for chemicals, I gum because these people want to get the gold at all costs. So they don't care what they do. So I think there you see some of these menace we cannot allow it to as a fester and as a flourish. We need to highlight it and make sure say every single measure be available be stop some of these things we need to do just to ensure say these things will become a thing of the past because galamsey so what her kwan for fast or no now what site no who kwan for so funta mensase now be say how long can they be taking for some of these things to recover it's mind boggling and it doesn't make sense anymore. Ghana for before the elections the kind of discussion that course within the space you could see say every single person is quite worried about the level of difference and degradation, but the problem is that before elections we saw a large number of people known powerful people who were sponsoring and pushing people into some of these things to do the galamsey until say we hold these people to account for the many crimes they committed against the state it will be an incentive for people to also go there. I make catch up because in the past there were video evidence, there were recordings, there were a lot of evidence and they are available indicating some individuals at the high hierarchy of power were involved in some of these things. At the end of the day, if these people are going to go scot-free, then it will serve as a motivation for some people who also take advantage. Say, okay, so you see that kind of thing because some people did it in the past, nobody punished them, evidence were available, they went scot-free. So at the end of the day, there is enough motivation and incentive for other people to also get into some of these things and do. And for me, I think we need to put a stop to some of these things because we cannot continue to allow our environment Sebeya, your friends are man for best subjecting to this kind of way, and then your mining regime, no, there be a mecha. It is about time, you better take time, JB. Now you share quan your fasoa, the natural resources and Yankopon diadrom, yano. You ever share today, yes, we Sebeya, the people in this country will benefit. Because for me, I'm still trying to make sense out of it, say JB. Yeah, your Maya blessed with gold, diamond. You can mention all the things, but everything. But nyansa yede kahwa yede yusu sabe to our benefit, you know, because we don't have it in Jebi. Your time you go near come a foreign company. All the mining companies in the world, either the American company, Australian, whatever. They mine these things, they take all the monies away. They don't even keep the money here. So we need to look at our mining regime. Now you're making sure, say, Ghana will own a significant percentage of whatever that we have in our country, but not foreigners will come and take everything away. So, because you have the resources, outsiders are taking it. Exactly.
But and
if you go to the mining site, they have security. Ghana soldier for the police for the protecting these people to go away with our resources. Doesn't even make sense. You understand? So for me, I think that a lot of people are coming to the realization that no, say I'm fire one Jiman Kwasa Senason Kutubi, I also a boka. Now what's here? You find it lithium.
Yeah.
Because the world is going green, lithium is the new gold, and you can't quite ever fast. You bet me turn a destiny into some kind of a minefield, a Ghana for a bit me a benefit from. But I know the day, Quabrani to me, Tama, the other Coche, Ninuya, Aquaji, or so I 11% or 10%. And must see and celebrate Okroma when the team belongs to us. Oko, Saudi Arabia, and other oil companies, your first rich countries. Now, you know what they do? They hide services. So you come, they pay you, and then they own it. So I know they determine how much I'm best selling. We can do all these things because I think that time has come for us to come to our senses. Now you let it go greed and that kind of selfishness over the years net dominated politics and governance in this country. Oil. Neda koma kwabranese tuna for 90% na mama 10% na sabi more dama JB. Ubenya natural resources that koma kwabranese own to normal 10% when you own the 10. And baby yadri, there is no single services around the world won't be high. All the expertise, all the knowledge. We can even start by training our own people in some of these enterprises to take over in the next 5 years. But those things, you know, natural resources. I know the day we continue to live in poverty. We are living in a continent that's so blessed with almost everything to the extent that when it comes to human resources, I'm telling you, that Africa, we are the richest. Look at the youthful population here. But these people have taken away all the natural resources and now they are importing the young people out there. For the last 5 years, go and check the records, the number of Ghanaians who live with the shores of this country going out there to see greener pastures. Aside that, you look at the number of nurses, you look at the number of doctors in Nasefonum. So apart from say, lose your natural resources, the human potential, the young energy, your friends, energetic young forces, they are also going out of the country. Because I say, it can be possible. So I think that we need that reawakening, that sense of orientation. They're coming back to our senses. Time has come for us to take charge of our destiny, making sure the natural resources now not some of these excessive partisan way now very often you see dominating in the conversation. Am I lose value on the actual issues? We need to just brush them aside and look at the issues and face them. And I think that is the only way we can move on as a country.
Okay. I studied common and there time kakra. Abdullah Sakra, is it Sakra? Sakra, yes, Sakra. A member of the NDC communication team. He's the biggest man.
Oh, see,
he's the biggest man. Okay, now. I mean, our documents, I mean, yeah. Galamseyers, they don't come.
Galamseyers, they say yeah, fighting. So I have to talk some. Okay. Mini Ivan Akasa. Wakan the Wall Street, no, Wakan Yawa Wogana for you now. But me per se, Mini Ivan NTIC say, Nyama Wakan no, me mano, me bono tofa, the amano.
Sir.
See, the Iva can now obi or tremi new bio team no ebeti say they here ayo pepper any regulations.
Yeah, sure.
And then if it be gold board, mpacho unti nenka. Edi enti ne set up gold board. The Iva can na entia. See, no matter how we talk and talk and talk, say yan share foundation here. Edano ebedri. Foundation any same. From day one now, yesterday Ghana, there is no direct policy on gold. Anything will be ahead the already or yellow. Now, one year buyer waba, the first 3 months or the document, any acquire already your gold, even yesika, stabilize the economy no. And no na John Dramani Mahama, aye ama gold board aba.
I took galamseyers.
Yes.
I took galamseyers.
Me say you will not understand. Here. Before some even me back go.
Abdullah, I took galamseyers.
Me pacho say galamsey no you to asia within 2 seconds. A system a cabal, a cartel, any idea go no. So other wars when we talk about cartels, anything that they have every single weapon. No military can just go there. They will fire them one on one. And no one say me can it's radio, near TV, near idea no. And I got said, let all these media men and let us appreciate what people are doing. Look, before some about me, Ivan Hall, anyway, this on the 20, remember, Mamin Chow, I know, sir, on the this issue on 20, there was an arrest. Yeah. On the 23rd March, Sunday, we made an arrest. A friend say Enchi. Enchi police arrested in Kofo and the court.
I have an interest.
Yes.
Enchi Cheo.
Yes. But I'm giving you the.
I know Enchi very well.
This is it. This is a court, and you know me very well. This is the court. On the 23rd, and I check galamsey for. And a chomo, a friend say your friend. Let me give you the actual name of the area. Wine River Forest Reserve on the 23rd March 2025. And the excavators mienu. And you process them to court. And you check excavators in the police station.
And are you aware?
Yes.
Are you aware that there's a directive for them to release court armor orders?
This is why we are here. It is a can tackle politician. Let us tackle the right thing. Politicians are coaching. Galamseyers illegal miners.
Politicians, galamseyers.
You see, and why are we blaming John Dramani Mahama? Why did we blame Nana Akufo-Addo? If politicians are not to do that, we have the mandate to do it. Yen ye wa buy mu, yen ye Ghana for so, and yen ye making sure say you best galamseyers no illegal miners no yen ye ebeden ebesieni am ye winning. So when we have a prepare it is time for you media men also to come together and make sure say you be fighting equally. Mamu njire and Felice, you are doing best. You are not doing best. I'm giving you an information whereby you are check galamseyers, illegal miners. Your mama police.
And are you aware?
Let me finish the particular one.
I know what you are talking about.
No.
Okay.
Ghana out there now, I want them to understand what we are doing. Yes. Now, Yadomako court. Upon all the pressure ever in Yadomako court. Court in a boatio, Ghana in Tio, court no bois say. Court no police for any authorities to 3 days. Or more returning machines now, Yakotina, or it's confiscating. Omo releasing map offense galamseyers no omo releasing galamseyers na tio upon order to police for no and some guide the galamseyers no ni omo machine no and go out. And this is the ruling. And this is the ruling. So we should talk about it. See onye boss, this is the ruling. You can go through or say one that the complainant being the Forestry Service Division Enchi District shall
hold on.
Let's educate Ghanaians.
Hold on.
This is it.
So
fighting. Na yakocho mo na o if so bit meet na ho. Law no was release you. Fight when you fighting.
So are you saying the court is presiding over illegal activity?
I have not said that. We are all fighting galamsey. Yeah, Chiom.
But this one, you are telling me.
Let's come together and fight it. Everybody is part. Police is part. Media is part. Politician is part. The Ghanaian out there is also part. Yeah, come and fight you. Yeah, back when TV got it. Emma yan fan kochino Emma yan fan court ba court the judge release the bakono say some police is anko guide the bakono.
So did you know this story before we yakoto aba
then
so that na yan kan mum ni yan fighting,
and that's why we can't do it alone. And that is why we have arrested someone. Ayan Janu ayan pando machines and Janu ye na court upon plea ni order na ye first na court na obi eja omo say omo 3 days. Knowing very well, said 3 days to holidays. And then Friday, we now ruling the buy. 3 days, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, holiday. So before they will come, the thing is already gone. How? How can we fight such a thing? And as ruling, let's listen to the rule or say that the complainant, being the Forestry Service Division Enchi District, shall forfeit allow the applicant to evacuate and relocate the 2 Leongon excavator machine and other mining equipment for the forest reserve to a place of its choice outside the reserve. That the applicant shall bear full cost and expenses associated with the excavation and relocation of the 2 excavators and the equipment issue. When HSF forestry for no match or more police station or no say relocation or no say the applicant shall complete the evacuation and relocation within 3 days from the date of this order, which is Friday. That the applicant shall ensure that the evacuation and relocation are carried out under the supervision of the NG district commander or is able representative, which I say police commander for no, and making sure say umbesa guide illegal miners no. I'm on the machine no every baby I want. I could be illegal miners no epe. Now, I say the fifth was say that this order shall be equally served per copies on the manager,
Abdullah.
Forestry Service.
Abdullah. Abdullah. Ivan Bacho. Okay. Per what you've just read, to me,
yes,
as a layman, the understanding is that the court. You are saying the court is presiding over illegal.
I have not said that, please.
So what are you saying?
Well, I'm just telling Ghanaians, and you are fighting galamsey. You are coaching Obi. You are not court. Court say, yenja machine. Now police, and some shadow so, and man for machine and call. Now what say no officer boka. After the name of every hole. What are we talking about?
Okay.
I have a manager.
Yeah, Jebby. I think that you see at this point, it will be unfair to be blaming because there is a new takeover and there is programs and initiatives that are being implemented.
Yeah.
But you see, my major focus shouldn't be on isolated cases. It should be about the larger policy drive by government, because at the end of the day, we are going to look back and assess how efficient that policy has become. What did the mechanic say? Some of these things, galamsey, we then people will be on the ground, we are the home too. But the state must show that aggression. We need to be very radical in our approach by making sure say running na will track it down to obia just to ensure say some of these things we are eradicating because some of these isolated cases we are then a biba but the question is across the length and breadth of this country there are several places people are doing some of these illegal mining and as a for them.
And are you aware, Abdullah, are you aware said the same place are Asem galamsey activities also ongoing now?
Yeah. Also, I'm not aware of that. Now, me bra Ivan, Asem Okan. You see, be making sure say you are fighting galamsey. It's Excellency John Dramani Mahama. I can both say there is no single individual entertaining galamsey, and he has shown it from day one. Now, make catch your hair. Wait, illegal mining, other Nana Ado. Maybe I warn what has gone to this. And you say, Akufo-Addo final weeks in office saw 102 mining licenses issued. Withdraw all licenses granted for prospecting and mining in forest reserve. Give to Akufo-Addo. These are all old stories. Opinion: Akufo-Addo alone cannot be blamed for difficulties. I'm just
a good microphone.
Okay. Me mount all these articles to show you. Baby, are you free? John Dramani Mahama buy for the past 3 months. We issue one single license. MOBia. We have not accommodated anybody.
And Yebi, it will also.
Idea be pesa yi na yeti ase ni se nipa ba ko entimi fa ni sa enkata nyameni. We all have to come on board. Now idea we na abaso maba me dey aba onim up to now the person also odi ekire say true say ye call court true say court they say yam protect illegal miners no ana. How do we do it? How do we fight it? Every police, every security, every justice, which is the judicial, which is the judicial arms. No, every and your politician can't be fighting. We all have to come on board. There is no way. Robert Katemi said a judge would declare this. I don't get it. What I say? So I don't get it.
So. You are by this telling me, sir, you are fighting galamseyers.
Yes.
And are you aware, sir, Muamon Kofoni BAB?
If you be a mensa,
sir,
but Chemio, Mensa only said, His Excellency Penino, or say, South now, a man crowding and car. Yes, Penino, town crowding and car, you will not have 4 account.
Yeah.
A dear John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, I can play, said. He will fight any person, even including his own people around him. He will fight them. All we need is evidence. Bring it on board, name and shame, and we'll make sure we take them all out. We are not joking. Galamsey fight all. I'm telling you for a fact. Niama eba besi in this year. No.
So
the kind of things I heard.
Go and tell His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Say the constituency secretary went to our west.
Sure. It's our west. Okay. Evidence with it. We need it. No, we need it because we want to deal with it. And I'm giving you a promise, personal promise, that we will fight it. We are not ready. We are not ready to deal with it because they say, you're dealing with it. We will fight them and so we will tackle them as cartels. And when we are doing them with like a Rambo style, nobody should blame us. We are going to deal with it like a Rambo style. And nobody should blame. Nema, packaging at all. It will shock you. Sure? Why gold board? No, why gold board?
Abla, I remember you are on national television.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
And internet doesn't forget. Only TV
I am happy
doesn't forget.
I see.
Yes, but we are here. And in the amount of proof, no say. We are fighting.
So what are the measures?
The measures in place. I don't need gold board, Aban.
And I'm with the 2 galamseyers.
Oh, relax. You see, how to roll it is important, and how to finish it is important. Again, Ghana ha cocoa. We regulate cocoa, and easy cocoa. We all know how cocoa is being handled in Ghana. Now, gold will also be handled as the same thing. And don't forget, say, and making sure say inflation fighting. It will make us have our physical money, make us refine the gold, not only selling gold, but refining the gold. And me brapin Asem say illegal miners no on ye dey on 2. Na again ye wo mam. Just me say no be me so hu ya. On your WhatsApp.
No, you just
127 startup kit ayede mo I share ejuma, your musia ejuma, you share oboase. Just recently now, and oboase, yes, I didn't know illegal miners, former illegal miners, no more, yes, we are pure illegal miner, yes, trillium.
I see.
And starting. We just started within 3 months. Within these 3 months, 127 people are ejuma, machines, boss, just because onye juma anything or call galamsey. He said, if you have given him work, one man shop, one man equipment, now or juma. It is wonderful, and that is what we are doing right now. And yes, sir, I buy at Hokwa. Yenim the during the campaign. Yenim the promises are edema Ghanaians. and we know how to handle it. And yet, because galamsey site now, the kind of pump action, the kind of sophisticated weapons are minus now, and yet easy. So it's all now. I'm off for two, no more car, and I ain't fighting. Let all of us go to the bush and see what is going on over there. So see, we say it's a Rambo star, it's a movie. The kind of weapons they have, only God knows. And let me tell you something. Upon all, come on, Matthias said. Whatever we are doing, see, now say boys now you recruit to first now they are not fighters. Fighting with that tactics. No, we are using a different tactics to fight them, and we will cramp all of them. We will not be telling you say security stain so we shouldn't come and just because of some push here. What we want is the results. We will not be here to be telling people what they will do. But what we know is that they are the reason why they are watching on the 23rd, and the reason why they are court. They are the reason, and that is their first assignment. With all their weapons and evidence, every single thing you court, and then I'll see. That is what Ghanaians have to say. And then I'll court this year. Court no, a dream boom, and now yes, there be because individual cannot put law in his hands and against Ghana. All right, we need to review things and make sure say
But so on the issue of the Attorney General, Chief Justice. Okay. Yes, Minim Sebia, you still want to talk about it, sir?
Oh, I think that Asem, JB. Yes, I think the issue a cause of petition by there were a lot of noise in town regarding the removal of Chief Justice and that's a forum. The last time I catch out a lay premise. Yeah. Why most Ghanaians think the judiciary is filthy and it is important we cleanse it. JB. My culture said one of the foundational institutions of our democracy is the judiciary. Yeah. Over the years, we've been toying with parliament, toying with the executive. But one thing we cannot joke with is the judiciary. But unfortunately, in the last 8 years, one of the institutions that gather a lot of debts on itself is the judiciary. Became a subject of public ridicule in a lot of conversation in this country. So, and the agenda is reset. I think one of the major things we can do is to reset that particular institution and clean it all the dirt and the filter our the judiciary. Because my culture said anywhere in the world, who said there is an establishment called government, no police for the Bohobine and no soldiers. And yet the trust and confidence we citizens repose in that establishment, and the government. At any point in time, if that trust and confidence, it means that there is a problem. Yeah. Because time will come, every man will become a law unto himself, and will be creating a chaotic society, and that is what we need to avoid. You see, because of the some people thought it wise. President ain't mean sorry as our Chief Justice. There is a constitutional window that has been created in Article 146 downwards. Actually, clearly, there is no ambiguity on that particular clause. Actually, the processes that need to be followed to ensure, we remove the Chief Justice, obey the petition bar. President saw that's already obey the petition, Brano. Petition here 3, calling for the removal of the Chief Justice. All of a sudden, news, people were reading a whole lot of political meaning in us. Yes, we are in a political environment and some of these things is possible. But you see, petition, your friends are caught now, the Tafo MP. It was frivolous. Sir. Just politically motivated. Because in the sense,
he's also a lawyer.
It doesn't matter. And I who lawyers may promote radio so can say it doesn't matter. The fact is that so we had the provisions quite clear, the processes that are involved. And one has to do with the president receiving a petition and forwarding same to Council of State. That is not a discretionary injunction on the president. It is a constitutional injunction on the president to submit that particular thing to the Council of State. So Council of State receive they review the competence of the petition, because the constitution, you know, it lay out 3 things. Outside that 3 things, you know, the chief justice can never be removed. That thing is incompetence, misbehavior. JB, me person follow conversation. Incompetence, misbehavior, and infirmity, both body and mind. So infirmity, like we are incapable of, like incapability, and that's our body, and that's how we become incapacitated. You understand? That is what it means. So in that state, you know, the chief justice can be removed. So President J petition as a conveying belt, you know, Najuma say on forwarded to Council of State to do this thing to ascertain whether the petition is competent or not. They do not go deeper into the merit of the case. Then I say for them, what I say. So they just review to know say the threshold of, you know, relevant, and I'm saying that process, you know, it is not an adversarial process. Any adverse finding can be, your friend say, advanced against the chief justice. So at that point, you know, say a chief justice akwenya say ye tie ne side ya omunyam from emrabia, because at this point that process, you know, can never advance any adverse findings against the chief justice. Now say adverse finding against you, why must you be heard? And the constitution make it clear, say Council of State every na adwuma na say set up a committee, na say committee no shall say na adwuma, then that process becomes an adversarial process, which adverse finding can be advanced against the chief justice. At that point, you know, as the principles of natural justice dictate, the accused must be heard. Yeah, sure. And the constitution, you know, Article 148 downwards, the chief justice must be heard either in person or by a lawyer. So does it make sense? It will be also a lawyer. Best sorry say or the other way court. Does it even make sense when you know say the early process I forwarded the petition to Council of State, you know, it's not an adversarial process. Any negative finding can be forwarded against the Chief Justice. I understand and the right is all but the ones are petition, you know, a leaky public a subject of your first discussion, you know, then will be asked back because I got thrown with Sumase and all the comma president said, Mr. President, Mame copia. The president could have responded and also bet me their manner. And I'm told across all their money that. But he could have decided not to give it to me at that point, because at that point, you know, you don't need her input to determine the competence of the offense of petition. Now it's your summary, now you can set up committee now. Evidence doesn't even make sense. So I think that there is too much politics in some of these things. But JB, why this thing has to be done in such a way? My problem is we and your politics and your partisan. It is about the destiny of this country. Sure. Especially the judiciary, because you see, yet na baby na ebedu baby na Ghana for nigidie ewo your judicial system no ma menunya asema de beba say be fast can be beba ofie because minim say court ro biti ho oje aponche obiti ho oje odwan e de ma justice, and that particular thing will take away public trust and confidence, and the institutions e wo krom ha nyina no. At some point in time, no, they were just running at the behest of individual discretions. Now, institutional dictates, no, so I know the day, no, you saw all the state institutions fumbling. You would see your auditor general, even the media, they are say, and several other state institutions, all of them, no, were just kowtowing to partisan conveniences and influences in this country. Time has come for us to make it a point to say we are resetting this institution, and for me, the judiciary is one of the institutions that we need to look at, not just the Chief Justice alone. JB, if you look at the, your friend is saying, Supreme Court bench now. Yeah. There are some people who are sitting on the bench and they don't even fit. They are not fit for purpose. Yes, because they are sitting there with a lot of debt. For instance, how do you justify to be your own answer? I'm not talking about the partisan folks, people who will say hallelujah to everything. Within a reasonable way, your friends say contest, you know. How do you justify so be our failed parliamentary candidate or the political party? Now the same political party will come to power and appoint the same person to Supreme Court. Does it even make sense? And what you want to say, other side, I would issue caucus. The person may be doing the right thing, but because of the back, maybe all come from into the integrity of the judiciary. And these are some of the things. And again, the packing of the court by Yefesa Kufuado. Conventionally, I'm not sure that we've gone past 14, but you go to a time and you come back 18 and as for Cecilia Bonoka say, "Binu crowd parliament or one pass, or one more week as America Supreme Court and I am." We will do some of these things, and the rulings that were coming out of the in fact, the judiciary, and as a Supreme Court, were questionable. For instance, yet the criminal catches a birth certificate, and just we are Ghanaian, Ukra passport that we are Ghanaian. Does it even make sense? Because so me my hospital, and I know how I issue birth certificate to Kate. It's not as if say you Ghana and I trust that we are Ghanaian. Where baby are free ba, their nationality will be indicated at birth. I win so actually baby are free ba. So the mere fact that you will be Ghana have no birth certificate, you cannot say because okra birth certificate, foreigners have birth certificate, Ghana. So what is the primary document in this country? Unenam hui, ya from Nkra Brema. Yemfa abra Ghana card nyama. What is the primary document you do what answers away Ghana ni? It's not your birth certificate. Yeah. So what then will anybody on his right senses will just sit down and say for one or two reasons, Makwashe birth certificate and then Ukra passport. Passport is just a traveling document. Sure. Who to your passport? There are vast majority of Ghanaians, they don't have it. So I know the day, Obi watching for Obino is enough. Now in a community where over community are foreigners do also change Ghana for TP. They will get people to vote for them. At the end of the day, we will end up registering foreigners. So for me, I think your judiciary, we need to package all the noise in the space and just bottle it up and throw it somewhere. Let us focus on what has to be done. Because me, I support any kind of reform that should go on in the judiciary. And I think that the president should stick to his conviction. He should not be swayed by the criticisms and those things people are saying. He should believe in what he's doing. If the petition that has been submitted to him, so committee need to be established. Say indeed there is merit and adverse finding. You advance against the chief justice. She must go home. When you say you kofa software mama be pacha, you kofa him for. I think that nonsense needs to stop in this country. When all the nonsense were going on in the judiciary, they were even chasing people within the social space. We live in a country where people go on social media or not doing about the judiciary. The next day they are cross and but we live in a liberal society. It is the criticism, the input, and whatever that will come from the people, and the shaping the discourse and the advancement of our democracy. We cannot shut the people up. What I say, because and give oxygen that kind of life to the judiciary. We cannot shut people up. You see, come my lord, Sabi. Nipa not what is so revered, but the office you occupy, position now, and a Ghana for attach that relevance and that reverence to the office. So, who certain abuse now? It means that you lose that particular credibility and the integrity. And for me, Baby, the entire person in the past, in the cases in the Mijawa, there was a pointer. The NDC as a political party, any 6 other political parties, at the Electoral Commission court say registration at the district level illegal. Yeah. The catch say Chief Justice to kwan. Enti on my your friends say party ni nya date. Ampa Chief Justice buy Obama date na Electoral Commission we aduma oye. Okay you levy. Haruna Idrisu and co. Omo issue no court Supreme Court set date na e den. Na Parliament a pass here. So when you do some of these things in the high political cases, at the end of the day, you make people lose confidence in you. But I told you, the marking case within less than 24 hours, not Chief Justice a panel. Okay, on a babbing case, Now you do some of this and you think people are not for being confidence. So for me, the president need to follow through of this particular thing and make sure, men can't say any substance but if adverse finding with me advance against him, I think we need to. And who
else again?
What again?
Why be now? You say
Oh, I think there are a lot of petitions that will be flowing in.
Oh, okay.
On people sitting on the Supreme Court bench now, they need to. I think that there are a lot of things that we can do. Say reform it, and you see you two NDC Judicial now, so you made mistake, JB. You're free where. There are other institutions that need reform. For instance, ECG out when you think that happen just like that.
Remember ECG. Now, my Abdullah and Faraday, quick one on that.
I think so we shouldn't even talk about it. Yeah, ma, and I Ghana for me and say, Eddie Omon Semba say, or more evidence, just say, yeah, mammy, a home was. Now, your mammy who are some so here Article 146 now, what you said there should be a petition to the sitting president. So, sitting president should forward it to the Council of State.
Yeah.
Now Council of State for so no who said me exactly. Yeah. Now the 2 Supreme Court judges aka ho no my den omadi asem no. Na mame no so ye be frɛ no na etie no num nsɛm. Say yentimi judge no say you know free us onye better onye get to answer. So you have to pass through the law. And I mean any me were a city newsroom December 12, 2019 breaking news slider top stories. Nanado nominate Enim Yeboah as new Chief Justice. Inti yekai amanfo eni yekai amanfo say emra ene di adwuma inti eni this is city newsroom eni city newsroom eni inti ebi esida ya ebi o kai say ye mami Charlotte say petition say ya ene de bae na Nanado famra kwan so Nanado di mra kwan so pepe ena omu say eno ho asem ena omu yi no nti Ghana ni Ghana form yensa e aba all right ye hwem mate baby adu no de say mebra kan o hwe de ya mebra kan yina e che say ese fa praye na nwura na wo system no mu no ye prapra nwura ni yina efiri ho se nwura no ebi wo ofia no a o de obetima cho letter aba na ya praye no abepra okay because we are cleaning the system, we are resetting the system. Ma obia refi adewe ene kache Ghana for yina say ye pese ye, and our manifesto is called Resetting Ghana, and me kai amount for any this is what we said jobs, accountability and prosperity. This was our manifesto kache Ghana for, and resetting agenda is coming on. We will reset everywhere. Baby, we will be a one. You require some prayer. You be praying na because me bra kra mama kai. Ama me ya okra sa di. Me we fi mpo. Say mami we kan na I levi no. Kana ni bia tua I levi. All right, Mate. Kana ni bia tua I levi bia mami we kan ho na utua I levi. Nti mo ma yem bom pai ma no na yen clear no. Yem bom pai e ma no.
Jabi, I think that we are Ghana ni wa ho. Na otewa you decide say oba isolate yourself from what is happening. Na watch is like we film movie yeah as a citizen, and your frustration will deepen when as the development occurs to unfold. My appreciation at the moment there has been a criminal cartel operating within the ECG for so long. And Debbie, I think the problem I want to say, and I'm say we Ghanaians and a section of the media, yes, so much fixated on sensationalism. Very often we look at some of these things that will cause wow within the media, but I think that there are critical aspects of this thing that we are overlooking. And also they give birth to the kind of incident within the space. Yeah. To begin with. If you go through procurement processes, contracts that were awarded, and the things that were being bought, you come to appreciate that there has been a lot of corruption, rot, and the friend is saying scandals are within that particular period. Because some of the items ECG were buying will be needed in the next 10 years. So the question is, what is the motivation for Obi to make a purchase of items that will be needed in the next 10 years? If you cry lifespan, maybe 80 and 7 years. It clearly shows that particular place, a gold mine for a certain criminal cartel are no more pretty within. And way to toss the boss no. So we tell reporter some of the purchases in the caucus, he wasn't even aware. Your friends said they're resigning, Your friend said, yes, at the time. Most of the procurement in Nasifo and I think that it is because of those things I can be and I'm resigning here. So clearly it shows that what we are dealing with are much bigger than what is happening at the port. I remember how later. So I think that we need to be very deliberate in our attempt in following the trail in this particular instance. Look at the procurement breaches also. When the so-called order from above are leading to those things. some of the contract were awarded through sole sourcing.
Yeah.
ECG to maintenance awarded over 573 contracts within a year to individuals. Most of them don't go through any procurement process. Then as a forum. Now besides say yato nema we nyina wie no yebi. This is state to state say agency and as institution. E dey be na beba enema nema ECG yato ebetena port for almost 1.5 to almost 3 years. Bill never pale apart to a tune of about 1 something billion. These are legitimate questions. I think we should be asking. Now, anyasa na ya fizeti on nearmercy or port na say we will end up letting a lot of criminals go scot free. So for me, I think nearmercy is just an eye opener. We need to delve deeper into ECG, and not just ECG alone, but other state-owned enterprises. Similar things because if you go to the energy sector, all the agencies now ECG apart from some of these foolish procurement buying the company was running at a loss. Now budget now almost 32 billion debt and that company. So now because say kwan be no fast arrival at this particular thing. And inefficiency one of the benchmarker ubetimi dey agage the ECG because IPPs na produce power we da come ECG say monjina mon koton mra no kwa technical and commercial losses run to about 32 to 42%. Now, Sabi, more dama, when I say company ni media, can you produce power mass as a cotton? What's the commercial and technical losses? Almost better to 42%. There is no single reasonable person that will run his personal company and be getting that particular losses. And you're okay with it, that becomes the order of the day. So another day, the debt in up to a tune of about 32 billion. Then within it, people were using money in our company, buying things they don't need. Doing procurement as somebody from above will just pick a phone and then call. Now I'm for the buying things na pack it up away. Now say me better have a catch the new meters now no change, most of them were 40. But because they needed to force it on the people. Say now say any audit be a cost then there will be a justification say yabo. I'm told say na one beba ofie say beba new meter be apamamo because I think that there is a letter there is a communication. What will be beba ofie so beba new meter be am police for channel because ECG so munyai. And these are some of the things they do because old meters in as for no quite better than the new ones no model ban. And it has created a lot of problem all because somebody needed to procure that particular thing and make money. People did these things, made money, and another day no or mine they suffer. So I think the noise in the casa should focus on the ECG itself. You see, management and procurement directors and I think that all of them must be picked up. The energy minister need to start by dealing with that, not China for our reference view. They are just dealing with those people will not solve the problem. But the criminal cartel now is deeply embedded within the ECG. And they are the board of directors now so which means a cartel were so powerful to the extent even the board chairman could not even control them. So it means a bino need to make conscious effort to cleanse all these things. So we catch us cleansing which was politics because these are criminals embedded within our system. And some of them are smart, playing NDC MPP politics. Yes, I buy necessary also NDC, I buy no co-opposition also MPP, and they are using their mind doing all this nasty stuff. And at the end of the day, the ECG is saying winning in depth. So I think the focus should not be what has happened at the port. And the NDC will follow up. But the criminal cartel now, multi ECG or yes answer how the many procurement breaches so we need to investigate every single one of them. Courts should be available and we prosecute these people as a lesson to people. And this particular thing need to be extended to other state institutions as well. Company or say Cocoa Board. That huge sums of money we need to find, we can't just brush them aside and say now then company we need to do forensic audit. Now you establish the extent of this crime. Course within these state institutions. That is the only way. Then Uber port one. May I'm saying say container be anyirai. Container be anyirai.
Ade.
Jebi. Uko porter. Containers in a good minutes or port. And yet tomato a good gas or fire that bottom. Containers are your friends big items answer our free port, go through a lot of processes. So there can never be a situation these items were lifted from the port without a paper trail. So why don't we follow the trail and make sure that the very people who are giving those orders, we go after them? Because companies here come as mean they pay for it. So who who gave the order? Who picked the thing from the port? These are some of the legitimate questions that we need to find answers to. Not the noise. Why? China for it will not solve anything. Nippon or China,
Honestly,
the very people now are more allowed that particular thing to go through port to send the power. And you see, say you're very serious with this particular thing. It will present to us one opportunity to cleanse everything from the port to ECG.
Yeah. Because
you see all these things, Ghana maybe sinners are also near politics, witch hunting and as well. But JB, now we've gotten the witches. This is the time for us to hunt them. Daylight. We're in here, daylight. We need to hunt them and get them out. Because I think that the Energy Ministry and His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, this is an opportunity for this government to cleanse ECG, every single person involved. What does any civil servant or it is an opportunity to get rid of all of them, and if possible, those who are involved, we prosecute them. Serve as a lesson to others. Because we cannot be coming here sitting on TV and I don't see but who say be container or fly and then I support MPP. My question is all these issues now because I'm 40 years here. Do people really understand what is going on?
I'm not too sure.
Because the everything happened in the previous government.
Yes.
Every single thing involved in this whole ECG rot, started with the Akufo-Addo government. And the subsequent proceedings, Neto, a car port, so for people to be doing container, A2 on MPP problem, I don't even understand it. And this whole stealing, and see, no. I think the first day the energy minister went to the ground. Now they were missing. So there is no point doing politics with some of these things. I think it's a single opportunity for the energy minister to make sure, or dealing with every single person that is involved, including the ECG itself.
But I say, Abdullah.
Yeah.
I've been to
Medase.
Oh, documents or.
Oh, say. Oh, say. The reason why I enjoy bringing documents and dealing with documents is before we are any dealing. I'll find document and show.
Why not?
Oh, yeah, no, we are MPP for ya, my ball, my way, Saya, no, we own. So, one for document, and Kyle Munio, near my phone, near my Daniel, they think that they are wise, they think that they are untouchable, they think they are so wise that, and ye bibia, Wabokono, ye catch a while, or say, oh, the NDC buy containers naira, huh? From the first day, and yep, Papa Jinapoka say, only be a cost war portal container, which is worth $500,000. I'm not trying my container no call demurrage. Say I can't demurrage. You just say, container no I overstay our port more than 7 days. The first 7 days no demurrage free, which is over a bar container a vessel number. Now you container the baby now. First 7 days no free. After 7 days no, every single day no it accumulates charges. And no na you find demurrage. Now omu came my demurrage no eche container no 1.5 million Ghana cedis. Demurrage on kwa into omu jano port and omu auction. Now omu auction container. Omu auction container no I worth $500,000. $500,000. Omu auction 500,000 Ghana cedis. And yet abroad, any bay, any about which anti bay 4 year, any view. Say Ghana seek $500,000 US. Yet a container abba. Now, auction container no at 100,000 Ghana cedis.
You are near Salabaton.
You are near Sako if the Pacona auction man no $300,000.
Sunday here.
At day. It is if His Excellency the President, Eka said, we are at a crime scene. No, na Odika. That crime scene no. It is a na prosecutor mo am for say witch hunting. What is witch hunting about this? I have born uncophobia di. How on earth will you auction a container worth $500,000 US intentionally? Say uncle demorage. Now uncle turn 100,000 Ghana cedis. Now what's up for check or talk? $300,000, which is what Bogana Kwaka over $800,000. Any woman. Now, maybe someone for TSA we say, container to me in free port. Anybody who tells you a container is missing at the port, I'm giving you it is 1% possible and not possible. You know why? One, if you are shipping a container, you have a bill of lading containing every single details, your seal number, your port of loading, your port of destination, which is where you offload it. 2, you have a shipping line. You will take a bill from the because container no enya odia obidia. Nyama no agum na odia nti wakorenti container. E na odi nyama agum. Nti sa oba Ghana na udu Ghana na wo yi nyama na container wura na yeren afa na ade. So you can't steal a container at the port because the container is not an individual container. The containers are private organizations and are private companies. So you can't steal it.
Can somebody pay for the container?
Pay for a container as in
and the items.
Yeah, you can pay. That's why if it goes under auction. And the auction means Nyamana abano new run on befa. And a container new run so for or genadi. It's yet to be a auction container na Nibakona ya chairman no yi Nyamana no outside the container ako amanura. Any will be a shipper's own container. Shipper's own container me say Miami container. It's a little bit my but no put and because at the port when vessel eba say the moment a vessel banner air transporter call the new terminal there is tracking a room pet there is tracking. I see. Baby a container no ko stack na container no ko see no there is tracking anything as over now be found container over 1,000 containers na hold no ye actual stack our container near ko yi e dey abroad for stuffing. So untimi ira container and you container now you have to pay a duty. What your duty you go for compliance, customs compliance to access and give you a officer obey who amount. Now when you are officer no obey who amount no you go to preventive into customs no kwano your customs any all preventive any one national security any food and drugs board and a chemist any offense police and GPHA officers, Gapua officer. Okay. Into we now no. Security people are container bakubiano or they have the record. Before the container no be free stack. Edu gate na police, national security, preventive, customs. It cannot get missing. Every single container I run. The reason why it's be tracking ya baby a ebi wono any shy house no any say we have the container numbers. Tracking it is not difficult. Now there any say so omu yipie na ye yi niema na eno na unya niema no. But say container na ira there you can trace it and we are tracing it. Evidence say yakochi nkofo a omu ye den omu destroy evidence now omu melt it. Na there yan say how can you sell it to a foreigner? No, idea brand new. I need word no. Ono nane as scraps. Eja kunu crew.
That's what man journey.
Yes. And they are bro why you home. It is like if say we need delay or no side panel sat video ko court say we need ye. Na if I say bail amount I man no word ni nema. How on earth can a criminal take the whole government to court again? Like it doesn't make sense. It's all delay with them. Mo allow you and delay with them. If we can't deal with them, then let us stop all this noise that we are making. But I'm telling you for a fact, in the next 4 years, Ora will deal with all these people. We will come to the logical conclusion of the ECG meeting. And yeah, ECG will say, you some prior. Baby, a thing will be a better for resetting agenda, and we will do it. And also, just say, NDC for paying for John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, among positions, no, they should take a clue from all this. You will not go scot-free. Don't deal in corruption. Yeah, Jumano, now papa, because Ghana for any braces here, yeah, how we know, and he said, you won't phobia and white collar criminals. Omono, they will be there and signing, and we will be there working hard, and they will tell you, say, Unya, and our papa, Abo Bracha will be papa. And your brother, Mu Papa Boache, Papa Mu, a chrono, Papa Boache, Papa Mu. Omunya Nipa in Chaya, Papa Moni, Mammo, a chrono, and Omodi Itiama, so only umate, cran and hokra, now shining living our number. Then you feel like, it's me, Lipa. What I thought am I not doing? No answer. Me were doing, but yes, still I'm suffering. Why? Will be watching, and we are all not equal. Right. We fight every single thing. Help until and right. We are striking. Now, Kophobia Omuye the Omudi after from na back against them. All every single person I would do, we are coming after you. Ghana need research. And research no Momuna youth na yeba out no. We are not ready to do NDC criminality, MPP criminality, CPP criminality. No, every criminal is a criminal. No particular should be attached to anyone. Say we will deal with them. We are not ready to entertain any criminal because yabre as a nation and we don't have anything to talk of. Why? Why are we doing this to yourself? Now but fighting for we are obedient baby. Say witch hunting. Look, we will do wizard hunting. We will do witch hunting. We will do evil hunting. In fact, we will cleanse everywhere. Any person who needs cleansing, we will give it to them because the journalists, even themselves, will cleanse the journalists. Because they have to say, I'm out for two journalists say on killing case. The whole journalist, never send a video. Now corruption, cost be ECG, and from an apart to you on Asem. But I do here, I know Jinamu, and I buy a say, and ya buy na ABB. What journalists know so Okahon. All of you will be fished out one by one. We will not entertain anyone because you're bread. Ghana independent. I have from how long should we fight and talk? You're good. Maybe I can. You're good. You're diamond. You'll be beer. So you're bread a day. But me crying and say, I don't want Abba. Abba and Papa Abba. John Dramani Mahama in the last 20 days of his time now, what promising now, he has fulfilled it. Mummon Abaso, Munshen in Ukraine, Mumbon Payemano, Yemame Vice President, Yamon Payemano, ye making sure say, Obiad in Empire Aka Obibichi. Then we need to research Ghana. Elijah economy Yokoye, Nema Bo Nkoyede, Nancy Utis Obia $1. As a dollar crying Ghana have you. Because the dollar has been tamed. Yayan Kasa. The confidence that Ghanaians have with us, the entrepreneurs have with us, we will fulfill it. We will make sure we sustain the dollar. We will maintain everything. But easy, but we will deal with them. You be more asking, and we make sure we deal with them.
Yeah, I think that issue I make come once a year, sir. I do boy issue now. 10 years.
Let me just time I can now. Because I say
time, sir.
But we are boss
baby. I think that there is something that we need to do. Yeah, because issue you see now focus so on the amount involved and the personalities involved. One player will so guard on the weaknesses that this gentleman was able to exploit. And I think that moving forward, these are some of the areas that should be of your friends and principal concern to us as a country. Why is it that there are so many weaknesses so much your friend saying inserted at the heart of your governance structure now people can easily exploit and then get away with it. So the systemic weakness, I think that it is about time maybe make it a conscious effort. Never addressing it, because you live in a country where even the Nipa Onimians are to me your minor. It means you never be a cop. Onimians can easily plunder your friends' state, your friends' resources in any way and get away with it. We should be worried. And the children are even the smartest ones in the chances of movie, and there's all minor bo. Because I'm telling you this because the guy, sir, kind of Attorney General first on narrating the story, who follow trainer, you could see clearly that this is a damn person. I said, but because of institutional weaknesses so glaring and so ineffective, he was able to exploit. So I think that we need to look at the structural way now, reforms now. President Mahama Khan wants them, we need to reform every single institution in this country, making sure, say, amount of money I move to and phone in as a phone will go through. But the thing is that if the commitment is not there, because for instance, I do what he issue when the monies were moving around, they knew. But because the whole entire destiny was compromised, raise a flag. What I say, so it is about time you making sure, say, the consequences that come with some of these actions will be so, your friend saying, hard to say, a bit yet disincentive for people to go into some of these things. Because my catcher said, Nipa doesn't need always be there is that your friend saying, we need to do some of these things. But say, you making sure, say, the red lines assign her, cross there are consequences. Some of these things will not happen. And there are a lot of water, a course, in this country, for me, you transcend your case, you quantify a JB. And that's what change. Sabi, Bosnia, you're born in as a for. But these monies, I could be back for bottom. Sabi, or more than Nam Krum had a yakasem, and it didn't say Munu. And I think that these are some of the things that are going forward, as a share. Now, those reforms, we need to do. Sabi, a man phone to me so easily. Take over the system and then exploit it to the advantage. Because yes, we will continue sit here and you can't every day, A man for baby we can have a which for me, it doesn't make sense. We need to take preemptive measures. Everything I'm buying, I mean, silly all the leaks. Somebody are crime to me now on top of that, you are building that bag of consequences out there. Say, messy upper. These are the consequences available. One for me. We'll be able to curtail corruption, even though I almost say it's almost impossible to eradicate it completely. But I think that we can curtail it. But at this point, now I said it to a point that the state couldn't do anything. The state was helpless. It's the reason why people could steal these huge sums of money and they got away with it. We need to seal the leaks.
May I say, Ivan, Abdullah, quick one, 1 minute.
I'll buy Papa. Hey, 1 minute.
Oh, yeah.
I'll buy Papa.
We just.
But the reply can work out. Simply say, there are some people, there, I don't even know what to do. Hey, I'll buy Papa. Okay, Papa, we are Okan Waseno. Again, it's here. Attorney General can play. Say, oh, no, one year press conference, or evidence. And evidence, I didn't court. So say, Jagana for Anemu, I catch a Ghana for 7. Papa, I didn't court, no. Yanko, we see a time, we'll win the case. Again, it's a on your appointment, on in 2017, and you're appointing to BNC. Now, you're appointing to BNC, only the air funny crowd will say, oh, no, eco creative company, and also a friend of BNC, sir. Oye Juma, Abaya Juma, BNC, Bureau of National Communication. Now, Bureau of National Communication, now, in 2018, Abra power, one wife, I could be a private company, a friend of BNC Communication Bureau Limited. I am NPP4. But no, a car on my Bogana for never again do we have to have trust in these people. We deal with them, and in coming years, you're dealing with economy. Economy now attractive. The criminals will be jailed and criminals will be dealt with. We don't need them. Now, yes, I know. Wow, you're NDC ni. Out here, bam. Who name a cost? I fighting for follow. Also, all the who Jimubia will deal with you. Don't forget, say you'll be out doing who can say $1 million. John Dramani Muhammad dealt with the person and will deal with any single person. To all my Muslim brothers and sisters, our constituency for you say, this is the time for us to reflect and make sure, say, you better do Obia and Don, now you making sure, say, you better be Amagana,